All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Carroll, the PennDOT Secretary, and I want to thank the Turnpike Commission for their cooperation today at the Lawn Service Plaza. Of course, I'd like to thank the PennDOT team, Pennsylvania State Police team, emergency responders, and of course, Eileen Miller here to talk about Paul Miller's Law. It's summertime in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania takes center stage for several of the nation's most high-profile sporting and cultural events, including the FIFA World Cup, Major League Baseball All-Star Game, America's 250th, and general summer travel, including vacation travel. With all of these events taking place in our backyard this summer, it is critically important than ever to drive safely. Pennsylvania is expecting millions of visitors, and many of those folks will drive. No matter where you travel this summer, please prioritize safety. Put the phone down when you are driving. It's not only dangerous, it is now illegal. Please slow down, especially in work zones. Be kind, and of course, never drive impaired by any substance. With respect to distracted driving, effective this Friday, June the 5th, drivers will now face a fine if they are convicted of using a handheld device while driving. Under Paul Miller's Law, if you are caught by police holding your phone while driving, even at a red light, you will be pulled over. The law is named the Paul Miller Law, who was tragically killed by a distracted driver more than 15 years ago in the Poconos. You will hear from Eileen Miller, Paul's mom, and a national traffic safety advocate in a few moments, and Eileen's story is powerful. This law is about saving lives. It is not about citations, it is about saving lives. Last year, 54 people were killed in crashes involving distracted driving. That's 54 people who died in crashes that could have and should have been prevented. Again, hands off the phone. If your summer celebrations include alcohol, plan ahead by designating a sober driver or arranging for alternative transportation. Shortly, never drive impaired. Beginning June 15th and running through July 5th, safety partners across the Commonwealth are focused on impaired driving enforcement and education as part of the statewide 4th of July Impaired Driving Campaign. Motorists should know impaired driving goes beyond alcohol impairment. Driving while impaired by alcohol or drugs or any combination will put you and others on the road at risk. PennDOT data shows that last summer, there were more than 2,000 crashes involving impaired driving. Those crashes sadly resulted in 85 fatalities and more than 1,500 injuries. Those numbers should be zero. Impaired driving crashes are completely preventable. Please designate a sober driver or call a taxi, ride share, or another form of transportation. Choose your ride, or one might be chosen for you. If you choose to drive impaired and make that horrible choice, you could end up in the back of a police car, an ambulance, or even worse. Please drive sober this summer. In fact, drive sober always. Last year, there were nearly 4,000 crashes involving a speeding vehicle, killing 168 people. Speeding is an aggressive driving action, and aggressive driving fatalities have increased more than 30% since 2020. Please, please slow down, pay attention, follow all traffic signs, and simply just be kind. If you encounter an aggressive driver, get out of their way and do not challenge them. Stay relaxed, avoid eye contact, and ignore all rude gestures. Don't engage. Do not attempt to follow or pursue that vehicle. You or a passenger should call police. Do so safely if you're the operator of the vehicle by pulling over, and let the professionals that have a badge deal with the aggressive driver. Remember, aggressive driving crashes and fatalities, like the others that I cited, are completely preventable. We all need to stay calm and courteous while driving. We can increase safety on our roads and save lives. And despite the fact that it's 2026, it bears reminding for everyone, please buckle up. That simple step that we've heard for many, many years, it's time for us to get to 100% compliance with people buckling up. Seatbelt saves lives. You've all heard that phrase in line before. Here's the truth. It's true. According to PennDOT data, it is estimated that 90% of unbelted occupants who were killed in crashes last year while traveling in passenger vehicles would have survived had they been buckled up. Again, buckle up. 233 lives that could have been saved simply by wearing a seatbelt. No matter where you travel this summer, please slow down, put the phone down, buckle up, and pay extra special attention in PennDOT and Turnpike work zones. We want everyone to be able to get home safely every single day. And by everyone, I mean drivers, passengers, and those that work on our roadways, emergency responders, law enforcement, and folks wearing hard hats and vests. And I'm happy to turn the podium over to my friend, CEO at the Turnpike, Mark Compton. Mark.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Secretary, for those powerful words and for your strong leadership and advocacy and really your entire professional and public career and service. So we thank you for all you've done on this topic. And also, too, as I look to all of our key stakeholders who have joined us today, I thank you for being here today and for all you do in this effort to ensure we're doing everything in our power to limit what happens negatively on that roadway. Because what we can tell you from our experience is this truly is a life or death situation. And candidly, you are a key part of that equation. This summer, we are projecting more than 58 million travelers on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. That doesn't even account for all of the events that the Secretary talked about. That's before we start even talking about the events. We know that's going to add many, many more, and many, many more who may not be associated with our roadway, so new folks on the roadway. We see the safety benefits from open road tolling, but what you're experiencing in the eastern part is construction around the interchange ramps. So we ask you that you're going to see some new configurations there. Be careful through that as well. So a key part of that is making sure you're familiar with your surroundings and also ensuring that you are paying attention on the roadway. We ask you that you please do the following four things. Remove your phone, stay focused on the road, slow down in work zones, and eliminate distractions. And one last thing I ask you to do is for any of you that have young drivers as a part of your household or those that you're familiar with, it's really important to have that conversation with them too. As what we are learning, what we're telling you, summer is a very, very difficult and critical time on our roadways, especially when young people are just entering this for the first time. So we want to thank you once again for being here, and it's my pleasure to turn it over to you and our partner from the Pennsylvania State Police, Major Thomas Hartline.
Thank you, CEO Compton, and good afternoon. The Pennsylvania State Police are proud to partner with the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission, PennDOT, AAA to promote safe travel during the busy summer driving season. Summer is one of the most dangerous times of the year on Pennsylvania highways. During the summer travel season of 2025, from Memorial Day through Labor Day, the Pennsylvania State Police responded to 19,715 traffic crashes. Of those, 4,725 resulted in injuries and 151 resulted in fatalities. Many of these crashes were preventable. Troopers investigated 960 crashes linked to impaired driving and 2,350 crashes that were caused by distracted driving. Speeding and aggressive driving continue to be major contributing factors in serious fatal crashes across the Commonwealth. In an effort to reduce these numbers, the Pennsylvania State Police will continue to conduct targeted enforcement efforts throughout the summer focused on impaired driving, distracted driving, and aggressive driving violations. These enforcement efforts will include high visibility patrols, sobriety checkpoints, aggressive driving enforcement details, and increased patrol presence on major highways and in work zones. We also want motorists to be aware of Pennsylvania's updated distracted driving law known as Paul Miller's Law. This law prohibits drivers from using a handheld mobile device while operating a motor vehicle while they are temporarily stopped in traffic or at a traffic light. The law does allow for use of hands-free technology, but drivers cannot hold, support, or manually operate a phone or other interactive mobile devices while driving. The law is named in memory of Paul Miller, who was killed in a crash involving a distracted driver, and the purpose is very simple. It's to reduce distracted driving crashes and save lives. Starting June 5th, the drivers in Pennsylvania may be stopped and cited for violating Paul Miller's Law. The Pennsylvania State Police will be actively enforcing this law as part of our summer traffic safety enforcement efforts. We'd also like to remind drivers about Pennsylvania's move-over law. The law requires drivers approaching or passing emergency response areas to pass in a lane not adjacent to that of the emergency response area. Drivers who are unable to pass in a non-adjacent lane are required to slow down to a speed of no more than 20 miles per hour, less than the posted speed limit, and reasonable for the safely passing the emergency response area. In other words, if you're unable to move over, drivers should gradually slow down rather than slamming on their brakes, as this could potentially cause a chain reaction crash. Remember, you must move over for emergency responders that include police, fire, EMS, tow trucks, and other roadside assistance vehicles. Furthermore, the law now covers all vehicles, not just emergency response vehicles, provided 2 emergency displays are present. These displays include vehicle hazard lights, caution signals, triangles, road flares, and cones. In closing, the Pennsylvania State Police urge motorists to slow down, stay focused, drive sober, and obey traffic laws. These simple choices can save lives. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce Nate Piggott, the Director of Marketing and Member Experience for AAA Central Penn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to PennDOT, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and the Pennsylvania State Police for bringing us all together today. Traffic safety has been at the heart of AAA's mission since we were founded in 1902. As we kick off the summer travel season, AAA Central Penn's commitment to protecting Pennsylvanians on the road is deeper than ever. We know that the days between Memorial Day and Labor Day are celebrated as the unofficial start and end of summer. It's a joyful time. School breaks give teenagers more independence, families hit the highways for vacations, and warm weather celebrations bring more drivers to the road than ever. But in the safety community, we view this period through the lens of much more sobering reality. According to AAA's review of crash data, more than 30% of all fatal crashes involving teen drivers occurred during these few summer months. In a single recent year, 825 people lost their lives in summer crashes involving a teen driver. The leading culprit, distracted driving, which alone accounts for 60% of all teen crashes. Pennsylvania's new hands-free cell phone law, the Paul Miller's Law, will be in effect to combat this danger. But laws aren't enough. We have to change behavior. That's why AAA Central Penn, we aren't just asking you to drive safer. We are deploying innovative technology within our own fleet to lead the way. We know that the side of a road is a dangerous workplace for roadside assistance technicians and first responders, and to protect them, AAA Central Penn vehicles are now all equipped with high visibility illuminated digital signs that direct motorists to slow down and move over. But safety isn't just about visibility outside the car, it's all about what happens inside. Our trucks are now equipped with AI-enabled cameras. This sophisticated technology detects signs of driver distraction in real time, helping our technicians maintain the highest standards of safety on the road. These innovations are designed to protect our workers, but ultimately, they protect every community we serve. While technology can help us manage distraction, summer safety also requires us to confront a different threat on the roads: impaired driving. Nearly 1/3 of all summertime traffic fatalities involve an impaired driver. That's why AAA Central Penn is joining other AAA clubs across the nation to take a bold, unwavering stand. In partnership with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, we have set a life-saving goal to reduce alcohol-impaired deaths by 20% before 2030. By advocating for advanced vehicle detection technology and research-based policies like ignition interlock devices, we aim to save nearly 2,500 lives. Our message is simple. If you plan to celebrate this summer, plan ahead. Arrange a sober ride before you ever leave the house. Beyond impairment and distraction, making our roads truly safe requires a return to basic roadway decency. That is why AAA Central Penn is reminding all motorists to prioritize good driving etiquette. According to a study from the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, a staggering 96% of drivers admit to engaging in aggressive behaviors like speeding, tailgating, and cutting off other vehicles. These actions don't just cause frustration, they put lives at risk. Even worse, the study found that aggression is contagious. The more drivers are exposed to aggressive behavior, the more likely they are to drive aggressively themselves. We have to break that cycle. We encourage all drivers to choose patience. Simple actions like using turn signals, letting others merge, can de-escalate tension and create a safer, more respectful roadway for everyone. Know that wherever your travels take you this summer, AAA Central Penn is here as your unwavering partner. With a combination of smart choices, better technology, and common courtesy, we're all in to ensure that every mile and every moment of your summer travel is safe. Next, I'm honored to welcome Eileen Miller, a national traffic safety advocate and mother of Paul Miller, whose life was tragically taken by a distracted driver. Eileen has turned unimaginable loss into action, and her advocacy helped lead Pennsylvania's new hands-free legislation, Paul Miller's Law. Please join me in welcoming Eileen Miller.
Thank you so much. Today has been a long haul for me. 16 years it's been since I last saw my son, this July 5th of 2010. My son went to a party on the 4th of July. He stayed overnight. My son did everything right. And unfortunately, there was a semi-truck driver that was seen for miles on 80 onto Route 33, lane switching, going on and off the road, speeding in a work zone. He was going 69 in a 45 at the time. Crossed over 2 lanes, a grassy medium, hit him head on, literally ran over him in the driver's seat, pushed him back onto an embankment, and then behind my son was a van with 12 people. 3 of them life-flighted, the rest were all taken to the hospital, and my son was the only one who was tragically killed. I had 2 state troopers come to my house. I was having a party that day, and I was sitting on the front porch waiting for people to show up. And unfortunately, I had 2 state troopers pulling up in front of my house. They asked me if that was my address, where I lived, and I said yes. And they said, "Is your husband home?" And I said yes, and they said, "Let's go inside and talk." My life was shattered in a second. It took 1 second for somebody to take their eyes off the road. And my son was killed. The day before, he was doing PX90. He was going to become a police officer. He was so built, he had a 6-pack, and the next day, he literally was in a million pieces. I couldn't even identify him. We had to wait till the reconstruction was over. He was killed at 7:55. We couldn't even go down till after 4 o'clock because of the reconstruction. Of the road was shut down. And I told them I wanted to see him, and they told me not to. And I said, "He's mine. I'm coming down, and I'm going to view him." I had to make sure it was him. And all I could see was his head in a body bag, and I could not even tell that that was my child. I literally had to unzip the body bag and look at his clothes when he walked out the door the day before and said, "Mom, I love you. I'm going to a party, and I'll be home." Those state troopers were so kind and so wonderful to us at our worst time of our life. Everybody that is here behind us are the people that show up and when there's crashes on our road. I went to my son's head and I whispered in his ear that I didn't know what caused the crash at that time, but I will find out, and when I do, I will fight for change. And we later found out it was distracted driving. He was not paying attention to that road that whole entire time. So I began my crusade. I turned my heartbreak into advocacy, and I've been fighting, as Secretary Mike Carroll knows. He was actually on transportation as we started this. I want to say a huge, huge shout out to Senator Rosemary Brown, who stood by me all these years. I went to others, and others would not help me, and she did. Secretary Mike Carroll also was a big help because back then he was in transportation and he wanted the law as well. And I never thought it would take 12 years to get it that long for life-saving legislation. What I would like to say as Paul's mom is that this law has never, ever, ever been about punishment. Never. It's always been about saving lives. I never want another parent to have to go to a morgue to try to identify their child by something so preventable as distracted driving. My son did not have to die that day. There was no reason for him to die, but somebody's unsafe choices killed him. So my hope is that this law creates awareness, changes our behavior. We need a huge culture change. Everybody is addicted to our phones from everything they do, from ordering food to driving down the road where they're not supposed to, from walking across the street. Everybody is on their phones. It's a huge addiction. And when you put a post on Facebook, you get a little squirt of dopamine off your brain, and you want to keep reaching and reaching and reaching for it. It's just like a bad drug. Don't want to do it. So also, like I said, I don't want anybody to have their family do it, and we need enforcement. Enforcement matters, but that does not change the culture change. Culture change is huge. We need a huge swing in our culture of the way we treat people, of the way we drive, of the way we are against each other. Like we said, when we're on the road, everybody's driving aggressively. They want to get to where they want to get to. Take a breath, step back. If you're stuck in a work zone, a construction zone, they have families there. They want to go home. You could just sit in your car and relax. And as far as the hands-free legislation, I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy. I say turn the phone off. Don't even turn your phone on, because even speaking into it, you still have an attention blindness. You're not paying attention to the road. And your one and only task is to get to point A to point B and to get there safely. And not injure yourself or anybody else on the road, like our workers that are working there, from the police all on down. So my acronym that I use all the time when I'm speaking is every time you get into your vehicle, pass. You've heard them say it. P is for no phone. A is nothing addictive, no alcohol. S is for no speeding. And the other S is to always, always, always wear your seatbelt. If we did this every single time we got into our vehicles, we would arrive alive. It's us making poor choices behind the wheel. It's us. So I'm begging you, and everybody's asking me, are the police really going to pull you over? They will tell you they're going to pull you over. They are absolutely going to enforce this law. It took us a long time to get here, but I'm so honored. I was honored to be Paul's mom, and I'm so honored that we finally got this legislation, because it's about saving lives and nothing more. It's not a moneymaker. It's not like everybody thinks it is. I'm not trying to tell people you can't do what you want to do in your car, but it's a privilege to drive, and when you're behind that wheel, do it safely. So God bless everybody here. Thank you so much. Today's an extremely emotional day. Friday, I don't even know how I'm going to be. I'm just so excited because I know my son's legacy now will save every driver and passenger in Pennsylvania when they come into this state. So thank you, God bless you, and please, everybody, please drive safe, slow down, and please pay attention right now. The 100 deadliest days of summer, there's a lot of people out on the road enjoying themselves. We want them all to make it home alive. This is a terrible time in the summer because people start speeding, people aren't paying attention, and there's a lot of road construction. We want everybody to make it home and arrive alive. So thank you, I appreciate it, and everybody, please stay off your phones in memory of my son and your loved ones too. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. And it bears repeating, driving is a privilege, not a right. So the Commonwealth exercises its discretion with issuing driver's licenses to folks who are qualified, and that driver's license is preserved by following the laws of the road, the vehicle code. And so I encourage everyone again, buckle up, slow down, phone down, no alcohol. Let's get where we need to go safely this summer. Thank you all for your attendance. I'm happy to field questions, as are the other panelists if there are any. Hearing and seeing, oh,
I'd love to ask Eileen a question. That's okay.
Eileen.
Yeah, if you can.
Sure.
Just as you had mentioned, you had been fighting for this for so long. I mean, how are you feeling right now today as we stand here?
I'm extremely emotional. I'm very grateful. I'm just sad that it took this long because I think we could have saved other lives, but that wasn't my fault. It's really nobody's fault. But in all honesty, I'm all over the place. It's just fighting so long for something so preventable. But as Secretary Carroll knows, I have more things up my sleeve, so this is not the end for me. I have other legislation I want to get passed, so you'll be seeing more of me. Anybody else?
I have a question for state police if anyone would like to answer. What has been sort of the response when you do pull someone over, when you see them on their phone? Do they seem like they understand how dangerous it is to be driving while distracted?
Well, I'll have to give you a general answer. To this point, when we stop motorists and confront that, it's just a warning that's given to them, and then some explanation, depending on the member that's involved with that stop, some explanation would be given to the driver as to why we're warning them for this. Going forward, I think there's been obviously a big public and media campaign towards letting everyone know this was coming into effect later this week. So I don't think the motoring public should be surprised that they'll receive a citation if they are in fact observed violating this law.
What exactly is going to be constituted as distracted driving? Is it just cell phone use? Is it eating? Is it smoking a cigarette? What exactly are you guys looking for?
Specifically, this is more to electronic devices. Obviously, the phone is the number one device in vehicles that people reach for if it rings and they're not equipped with it being set up within their car otherwise. So I would just say generally cell phone usage would be probably the biggest culprit thus far, and going forward I forecast that as well.
Just a clarification, or any idea how many warnings state police have given to drivers over the past year?
I do not have a number to provide you with that. We are going to be putting some numbers out in the near future that would include numbers from warnings over the past year.
Are your officers seeing that, perhaps this is an everyday occurrence where they're pulling people over and giving warnings, or is this more weekly, monthly?
It would be an everyday occurrence, yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for covering the event.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, this summer we encourage you as you travel on the roads in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to do it safely without distraction or impairment. It is so important to arrive alive to where you are going and meeting with family and enjoying the summer here in Pennsylvania, with it being the 250th anniversary of this great nation. We want you to arrive alive. Impairment and distraction kill, and for so many times running EMS calls on the motorways of Pennsylvania, we see far too often that distracted driving can be a cause of some of these accidents. And when you have distracted driving, you not only affect potentially your life and your family, but the lives and families of other people that are traveling on the roads as well, trying to arrive safely to their destinations.
When you are driving, it's not only dangerous, it is now illegal. Please slow down, especially in work zones. Be kind, and of of course, effective this Friday, June the 5th, drivers will now face a fine if they are convicted of using a handheld device while driving. Under Paul Miller's law, if you are caught by police, be pulled over. The law is named the Paul Miller Law, who was tragically killed by a distracted driver more than 15 years ago in the Poconos. You will hear from Eileen Miller, and Eileen's story is powerful. This law is about saving lives. It is not about citations, it is about saving lives. Last year, 50
Owners who have joined us today, I thank you for being here today and for all you do in this effort to ensure we're doing everything in our power to limit what happens negatively on that roadway. Because what we can tell you from our experience is this truly is a life or death